Now, if we get this going, we'll see what is different about this version and the last version, because now only those scoping through the scope know that there'd been some mayhem discussed on Dungeon Master. And for that, we totally excuse ourselves and tell you that the first 20 minutes was in fact infrastructure destruction, and that's number 4, and this is Oblivion. Okay, I don't need to repeat anything I see, but that's what I'm describing as a big... Wow, this is going to be interesting. It'll be like deja vu all over again. I like this score, actually. We could stay on it a while. It's Dungeon Master 106. It was cursed from the beginning to even try to make sense out of how we were going to edit without giving any two things away. And you could not have utterly tricked me unless I had my squished by Magic the Gathering cards and myself as I went down in a blaze of glory
I was born
that I can't even begin.
For 65 years, I've ruled as Tamriel's emperor.
Wizards of the Coast,
but for all these years,
so close.
I've never been the ruler of my own dreams.
In Dungeon Master?
I have seen the gates of
Dungeon Master, are there only 7 Dungeon Masters left, including this one?
Behold,
should we take you to the Grail of Aptitude in this interesting, calming down atmosphere with a gradient to the CGI? Relaxes you in color, even though there's some pretty wild... Oh, excuse me, I didn't know that would do that.
This is
We're flying.
The 27th of last
We're flying.
The year of Akatosh.
I'm just kind of sitting here looking at this
These are the closing days of the
floating
third year.
mirror lantern.
And the final hours
Or
of my life.
Camera through a window would be the same as a mirror lantern through a window, except watching movies on ramps is hard. It's almost impossible to do. We got this, man. We're going in. I'm getting, heebie-jeebies about this place. Oblivion, Insert. Tape B. One thing I like about the transferring of tape to tapes is it's so smooth, the picture never jumps. It's just like nothing goes wrong with the camera and everything stays stable, and this is why the real Dungeon Masters are here. To see how we got lost. In autonomy of chains. Oh, hello. A doorway. Now this is where I even more look at my character. This doesn't seem to be the same movie as last time. Right, since we were so prepared to go on and replace the episode that went wrong and delete that one. Well, I'm not giving you all the secrets of going in and doing what you will. This is the actual 106, and no one else will see the other. Close call, eh? Made it through 4 minutes, and
you can hear the sounds from the lake.
Oh, there was someone talking. Hang on. There is an iron bar crossing 2 iron bars. There is a floor made of stone. There is a back door made of iron. I thought it was funny too. Oh shit, dude. I don't know if they're alive. And if they are, that's gonna be hard to bring them back. Do you believe in the power of resurrection only from the game itself?
This is supposed to be off limits.
Does this game characteristically give you extra lives?
We won't hesitate to kill you if you get in our way.
Infinite extra
prisoner, stand
lives.
aside.
And you
Over by the
still
window. Stay out of the way and you
can't get
won't get
through
hurt.
it? Because it's one of the hardest
Prisoner,
games.
stand away from the door.
Oh, this
Over
guy's
by the
talking to
window
him.
now. No sounding. Stay put, prisoner.
Stay put,
Good.
prisoner.
Let's go.
Good, let's
We're
go.
not out
We're
of
not
this
out
yet.
of this yet.
You,
See,
I've seen you.
I've seen you.
Let me see your face. You are the one from my dreams. Then the stars were right. And this is the day. Gods give me strength. Assassins attacked my sons, and I am next. My blades are leading me out of the city along a secret escape route. By chance, the entrance to that escape route leads through your cell.
Huh.
Perhaps
Well, now I've heard it
gods have
all.
placed you here so
Did
that
you
we
hear
may
that?
meet. As
I
for
don't
what
know
you
if
have
that's
done,
really what
it
takes
does
it
not
on
matter.
in a different angle.
That is not what you
It's
will
not
be
exactly
remembered
what you would remember me for.
for. I am your emperor,
And
Uriel
you
Septim.
are my
By the grace of the
favorite
gods, I serve
person.
Tamriel as her
Dungeon
ruler.
Master say no phony
You are a
accents,
citizen of
remember now.
Tamriel, and you too
No
shall
phony
serve her
accents
in your
on
own
Dungeon
way.
Master, hang on. We've got to follow that rule. You were
You will
talking
find your
like
own
he would
path.
have talked, but that's
Take
not
care.
what he was
There will be
saying.
blood and death before the end.
Well, isn't he in a bad mood?
Please, sire, we must
Alright.
keep moving.
First he said he knew me, then he said blood and death would be all in my pathway, dude. I'm a
Better
little
not close
scared.
this one. There's no way to open
This is a scary game.
Don't try. I'm
Don't
watching.
cry or I'll kill you from Dungeon Master. Well, now we're going down the hall of Harachester and Rodanth and Sagrieve and Rewar and Tutelage and
Stand aside, prisoner.
Snackadrew.
I told you to keep
There's
out
all
of
these
our way.
people that I would love to just bang on a 40
Close up left.
but
Protect the Emperor.
there's no way that I could necessarily top that in the treasures lost of times gone by.
For the Emperor!
We look into the slab to see what is beginning to stare at us, to tell us there is no melting point between the one thing that we used to have and the one thing we have now. Is not the lost, but the lost is kept to themselves unless they come and find
They won't be the first
some
to
kind of a
underestimate
holy
the
grail
blades.
that must be passed on, stolen, or stolen and passed on by being stolen. Thank you. Well, that kind of gave me the heebie-jeebies, but we'll see what's going on, because I'm looking at this timer and saying, we're
I'll take
barely
points.
beginning
Let's
if we
move.
look at it the
You
right
stay
way.
here, prisoner. Don't try to follow us.
We could see how far this goes on one. I think we've come a long way to just have it from beginning to. Well, we can't do it to the end. It would be the next few Dungeon Masters covered. Some say we should show all of Oblivion in part of a cartoon fest. These things I'll have to think about. These things I'll have to think about. And no, I will not give away any secrets, for secrets are to be kept holy. And it's been 9 minutes on Dungeon Master. I don't know why I even watched the clock. Okay, you can kind of see where he is. Is this the 2 dots to see channel? Ouch, that must have hurt. Oh, we can't have that in there. That's like the devil probably or something. I feel for the... But he had to eat something. And now the gross amount that I'd rather die than eat it, my friend. There's just not a hole in my corner. The rat. And if you say the rat again... That's kind of scary. Why is that all looking like an alien or something? Oh, he's in a beanbag? There he is. He was right behind me. Alright, quest
Every
updated.
pregnancy
Everybody
is
get that?
different, but Jeff Heard.
Alright, well, we
Politicians
can
make
have
abortion
commercials
legal.
too,
It's
because we
none
were
of
getting
government's business. It
way
should be
too
my
into
family's
that,
decision,
bro.
not politicians like Heard.
Way too
We need to
into
protect
that.
our freedom. We can't let Jeff Heard go to Congress.
And if I had a semblance of you. Okay, where's the pointer? I mean, that looks cool anyway, right? Everybody down? Well, really, I'm glad we got that whole commercial in there, man. It's wild. That we're still in the treasure room of the Dark Castle, of the Dark Cave, of the Dark Dungeon. And this dungeon is really... main quest walkthrough. There is no commentary. Does that mean it? That just means it doesn't have any commentary. It doesn't mean that we can't put commentary on it. It's our very game before our eyes, and wouldn't I just love to sail you away with only the game answer? But I cannot, for we must first go to Audio Land. And that we're going to Audio Land is going to make this a lot more interesting, because I have Act 2 of the Magic Flute, and that is what you're listening. Oh, hello, Audio Land. You like my mirror lamp? My mirror lamp has artificial feelings. I say we turn it up to about there. And shelter through the hither, tumbling match between divine understanding and divine reason. And we're going to tell you about how it seems like we were just at Audio Land, we thank you. And now it's really going. I mean, before it was like going, and now with the music, it's just like, it sounds really good. If I was trapped in a dungeon and heard this music, I wouldn't feel so bad, would I? I wouldn't feel so bad, would I? In case of degree of the hex, the rest of it's written in text, in a hammer divine, in a space you call mine, in a lover, a redeemer, and breath. Dungeon Master does have to admit he doesn't have the best breath in the world right now, because he was brushing his teeth with menthol spearmint, and suddenly everything came back after lunch, that you really do have to brush your teeth 12 times a day as Dungeon Master and still have rancid breath. And I don't mean to unshow myself off, so I can get through this dungeon, that dungeon. I mean, look how far we've come, and not even skipping along the quest. This has all been linear, and I think we can get to where we left off in the other game that went down and burned in flames and wrapped into your soul. Oh, these things attack you? Oh, I see why they're attacking you. Not all animals that were trying to attack the dungeon knight succeeded, you can see. Now, I'm not saying that that's something we should look at as like feeling guilt because we killed a Rodentia. But they do come at you with full-fledged fangs, and then they die. And I don't mean to be rigidly morbid or anything, but this is just what I need to tell you to get through this Dungeon Master. Okay, so I just heard from a friend that this game could go on for quite a while. They're saying with the magic flute in the background and the Oblivion in the foreground. Everyone knows Oblivion is difficult to operate, and this will show you how to operate your way through Oblivion, and we don't want to skip ahead. But this is building character, and building character zones are definitely a pertinent reality in Dungeon Master. But now we're going on some kind of a treasure hunt or something. I don't know quite what we're looking at, except the darkness of dark, and there is a light, and he's looking down to the ground to see if he needs anything. I know this place. It's called Pick Up What the Enemy Dropped Place. Did we miss something? Is this not the ornamental presence of thy spirit divine does mix with me in rapturous wine, and there is nothing quite that I'd rather sign than away to the morbid creatures divine. Divine, I tell you, is okay because it's magical. There you go. Anyone that says divine is talking about something magical. So then they don't suddenly like me because I'm a magician. Here we go. Let's hear that other one. Oh, mushrooms. Well, I didn't need any of those, so let's just move on. I have had those kind of adventures where I am having one now, right? If we can hold it on the cover, we can hold it on for right. If you can hold it on for cover, we can hold it on for right. Man, this is one heck of a bootleg. I can't believe we haven't skipped any of this first hour. Oh, what I wouldn't do to have a filmed version of 2 hours of this, but if we pushed it to that limit, then it would be all the wreck, ensnared in a victory that would be like a Gear of the Wrath of God by the end of it. We can't just go Gear of the Wrath of God style without casting True, can we? I do know one of the Dungeon Masters ended that way, but never before did I think I had so long to the ending, and they were already missing the show. And don't miss this, because if you want Oblivion, Elder Scrolls 4 to make sense, you gotta really be paying attention. Oh, sorry. Not a boss battle, but definitely a monster battle. Now, the monster battle is not the boss battle. The monster battle is the one I overlook because it's usually easily won. And 2 was forgotten from the Dungeon Master Guide. And I forgot it again just now, so hang on. But if you're fighting in the dark, or you're fighting as a wizard at the coast, don't you think you can get through it without saying this is a monster battle or a boss battle? Yes, no, it's in the show. Whether this is a show or one big grand dungeon, where they all link together and play through the dawn's early light. This is exactly where I went out of frame earlier, but this time I'm going through. I'm going through with it. I'm going through with it. I just had a thought about this being a longer, more worthy Dungeon Master, that I do need one more hour-long Dungeon Master before we hit the quicker episodes that are short films. And we've had Dungeon Masters 20 minutes long, if you can believe it. It really has happened. 20-minute Dungeon Masters were all the rage in the early days. You would never believe it. We didn't go to the hour-long format until Star Wars, yes. Because there's so much to see. So much to see. So much to see. Alright. He gets in here with his laser light. Oh, so this is a dungeon cave where everyone's coming along in this maze and they're going around. Oh, someone's still shot from the last hangover and... Oh, someone has a hangover and my music's too loud? Well, turn it down on your phone, it won't be as loud. But in the recording room, mind you, I can see why she'd complain, because that's always where it has to be recorded loud. So, are we all on page? But I hope it drowns out your dialogue, sir. I'm not just sir. This is Monterey. And Monterey, baby, I'm here to stay. Alright, you all, this is getting interesting. I just saw this. Like, whoever's in control here controls this game way faster than I do. And every time I want to jumpity into a future timeity with this game, we've seen it all, man. But do we dare see how long we can go, even if we get stuck on a screen like this, and everyone watching is wondering knowing exactly what they're leveling up. Because their level up is always where you select the items, numbers, and wages that are going to get you to the next level up. And as soon as you get one, don't let down, because it's time to get the next level up. And this is just the thing. And I'm telling you, it was a various circle, came forth in Fascisto, is born a new way to chat with you. I can hear a thing or two. This is really what I was going for when I said hold the camera here, and it kept letting me go, and I kept rocking backward, and geez, man. Annie, get your gun, dude. Not to use my way, but come on. And that's your Annie Oakley. Not the real one, she. Yeah, well, the mirror lamp looks at things that don't have those kind of thoughts entraced with them, with the player who must empty all thoughts and never think of even his girlfriend again, because of this game, he won't be anywhere near his girlfriend for years on end. It'll take about 16 years before he ever has a girlfriend again if he plays this game. For it will get you through many wizardly dungeons. But can we run into an exciting part and miss it? We saw this last time. I cannot predict the answer to your prayers is coming. How can I explain? Listen, I don't really want to wager in the kingdom of Newton that they were about to go through the Skullhead Pass without any of the accoutrements of life. Well, I saved this one for the gods. No, this guide, can't I pick it?
I've served the 9.
I've served the 9 over my lay injunction, but I don't know where you get this rule that I have to be there in time or space or cause or... Hey, why do I say something different every time you show this? And did we all get to this part and fail? But we have to go on. We have to go on because now we're totally looking at a quest from somewhere else. And I don't know if you know, but sometimes, oh, what? He's still, what? What? Oh, Ego, the founder of my new colony, will not destruct itself.
Your stars are not mine. Today the warrior shall prove a stalwart companion when fortune fades.
Knock, knock. Knock, knock. Knock, knock. That's Joker.
Only in theaters Friday. Rated R.
So, this is what will really surprise you, Dungeon Master fans. We were looking at the size of this belt and it's long, but the reason we skipped is because the music and the image had to be resynced. And I wanted to resync it with the image. I swear there was a point to that. And now the music much more matches what the scenery is supposed to rely upon in the scenography of it all. This is Battle to the Horns. Oh, I'm going to miss Dungeon Master. Even though it took me on an adventure today called, where did we fast forward it to? And I'm still going on that one. I walk this lonely road, the only road that I have ever known. And then you see a light, not from your own. Look upon your inventory, which everyone needs an inventory. No, gamers, everyone needs an inventory installed on their Advanced Dungeons & Dragons Dungeon Master, the comedy game. Yeah, put that on there. Wizards of the Coast were so ahead of their time. But we got stuck on another cardboard. But this one might not leave us stuck for too long. Eventually you have to level up, wear better armor. I've done all this, yes. It's a great game. You know, I for one know you can really get into this game and really take it to the head, but when it's all blocking the screen in the game like this, but it's completely slow, means that it does want us to leap ahead. Maybe not, though. Technical difficulty we're having. Always still in the dungeon of necessity. Always still feeling pain upon the prompter. I think this is the one. I'm not going to jump ahead then, like I did so randomly after the first half hour was all one take. And this is still one take, but we're much further along in the game. Not too further along. We could come back here to this game and play it out on Dungeon Master, really. It's all the scenes we have seen, haven't seen, mix them all up. I'd love to do that for you, Dungeon Master fans. But what if we get another request? It seems we're so close to the stirring ending of the things we used to know. Things we now know and things that will obliterate us. Let's not be so wandering in our hypnosis. But this game does hypnotize you like we do on Dungeon Master.
Where's
Be
the
not
count?
afraid.
Why is he not with you?
And if you are not with me, then why would you were too late. If only we'd gotten here sooner.
This is indeed dark.
This is intended a dark day for all of us
Thank
left.
you for risking your own life, Clemens. Did you find the Count's ring by any chance? At least this is safe. Thank you. I shall make sure it is protected for the time.
When a new Count is
crowned.
crowned.
Here.
Here, take this. I have no use for it. I'm tired of fighting. It may serve you well in days to come. So I can't not say anything about this, but it seems like they had wanted me to be quiet for a moment while Stereoland I should say. It really is Stereoland, but it's Audioland or whatever. And people laugh at me, they're like, that's like a kid's show thing, and it's actually just so I can cue the music, and Mozart's not really for kids, and Oblivion definitely isn't always what you'd see kids playing, but, you know, play on, my wayward son. Kick it down, brother. Yeah. Let's do this. Let's do this. See, we didn't have to skip all those segments, but it was getting to be quite clustered with the good sound and the non-matching image, and
I'm told you
I didn't see that coming, really. I thought it was going to be one straight image, but I know you at home are sitting there writhing, writhing, wondering if it should have been straight through, and well, it wasn't. It's not going to be the whole time, but well, if it was 30-minute takes at a time, even in the same film, I don't think anyone would complain too bad. And these are just bureaucratic issues we have to get through right now.
May I interest you in some of my fine wares?
Fine wares? Of course you can have fine wares, young lady.
That seems a fair price.
That sounds good, dude. You should have been doing this the whole time, Dungeon Master. Oh, I am Dungeon Master. Well, I'll tell you, we weren't doing this the whole time because sometimes the sonography switches on the screen, making lots of gold as key. I hate to say it, but we got another jumper.
A find. That's more than I would usually pay.
This is going to be a long jump, everyone.
Saturday night is
Oh,
about the 90
hang on.
minutes leading up
I
to
know
the
you
first
all want to
episode
see
of
what's
Saturday
beyond
Night
this
Live.
commercial.
And we're telling
Just
the story
remember,
of the
it's
first
commercials
episode.
are threshold audience.
You get the experience of being in this culture.
I better skip it because I don't know if I have the odds to that, but it was for this show, and of course that only means it was originally put on the Elder Scrolls 4 menu as a commercial if they got them. Some of us don't know what's commercial and what's not anymore, but they're really almost everything on YouTube at this point, especially this new of a recording of this game is done by YouTube. And the new of the recording of this game on YouTube means that they're kind of at the top of the class when they put things on there. And that's why we love them. Yes, we love them. Alright, here we go. I don't know, Dungeon Master. Do you want to take some weed from me? I got too much, man. Yeah, alright. Alright, hang on. Dungeon Master, you want some weed? Yes, but if I have to go through another one of these disparaging menus, it only makes sense when you're playing the game. And oh, guys, hear them try it. This is getting this yellow submarine kind of nice and smoked out. What do you call it? So now we're back at the entrance of the ashamed golden sword that we've all noticed there was a sword there, right? I cannot squeamish to admit that this is what it would look like with a sword in the middle. I know, I'm waking up. It doesn't matter how worried I was about anything. Everything works out into its own. But you're gonna have to tell me how me recording this and speaking of thine destiny in thine shutter speed, the mercy that we have and to extol itself to is meaningful in its example. For example, the example we use on an example is one that is familiar with the resources that we can use of our minds, not necessarily metaphoric, though it can have the qualities to be ascertained as metaphoric. Okay, your turn, Dungeon Master. What I was talking, wasn't I? And then I turned into your voice. Ha! This show says it's got professionalism. And yet his voice turned into his. And suddenly Bob Marley's on the register. I don't know if it's just the weed. But it probably is just the weed. If it's just the weed,
What's the plan,
could you pass me the bottle of mead? If it's just the weed, do you send it to the salty sea?
Sure hope you know what you're doing.
If it's just the weed, will time stop when time goes before? If it's just a weed, then how come I'm worth fighting for all of a sudden because I have so much of it? Well, don't I wish. But I will get much
Sure
of
hope
it.
you know what you're doing.
That's why I go to these dungeons and they're running out, you know, and I'm not too fond of saying it's reaching the end, but it's coming close, and we're all scared, and we don't know what our lives are going to be filled with without the cure of Dungeon Master. Because nobody else is going to take you on these walkthrough adventures like Dungeon Master, first of all, and we'll just leave it at that. Like, you know it's more an adventure with me than it is without. But then, going on your own is more of an adventure for you to create and to fill in the gaps of when we couldn't show the entire game in entirety, which there were some games that were 15 hours long and we just didn't have that much time, and then we had TNC Factory all the way through it. I mean, Dungeon Master does not mind that TNC finished, and Skyrim, Oblivion, what's the other one? Well, we seem to have forgotten the third one. My memory has been so racked up ever since I got slobber-nabbed by a ukulele Prince horn. And that doesn't mean I wasn't meant to lose anything time-wise in a blessed core of Mangine Moodai, which is about to be the level of my plateau, since there are no other curves in the wake of thy matter. They'll all be feeling this. It's the chatter when main time comes around. And if main time comes around, subquest, then we'll see you on the better chest. We'll see it when it was the best. We'll see it when it was the crest, and that will be the ultimate nest where you can find your cigarettes, and that is where your cigarette will come onto me like it's yet again going to come on to me, yeah. Alright, Dungeon Master, you're getting a little punchy. Are you sure you got this, man? I mean, it's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll, man, but still. We know you're getting old, Dungeon Master. Old and gray. just because, well, hang on. Be right back, everyone.
Look out! Yeah!
Well, that was quite approximately the longest break I've had in years. But in Dungeon Master, I go off to wish my Bob Marley friends adieu. For we can't do this without you. You make me a star, make me a star, make me a star. Just kidding, Dungeon Master. No, we are the uncommiserate, forgotten professors, Union of America. And that we try our best. What do you, sorry, I was pretending to be that guy on Dungeon Masterclass. It's this new show that's started not by us, of course. We have sailed to the outer sea of the Church of Gygax. We have brought along many in company, and those that were with us were not without a beginning. And I think it's like we've all been grinning too much about the power of laughter in a game that is humorless, basically. I mean, we're fighting dragons. It's not like it's a comic book. But comic books usually aren't funny either. In fact, what's it even going for in the comedy terms of Dungeon Master? And it's all been a commercial for all the games. And that it's all been a commercial for all the games means I must go smoke a cigarette and leave this on autopilot. If there ever was one, which there isn't, so here, hang on. Well, that's about enough of that beginning mode. I've been into it too long. Sorry, beginner's mode. This is a stone walkway with a stone wall and a dungeon made of steel beams to hold it up. But these floors are made of steel and marble and all the things costliest to earth, and that they're in a dungeon is surprising because these guys have done the dungeon maintenance and paid for the glory and the calm of our god, Oblivion. And though he does nest a positive quality, his quality is positive to nest. Oh, that was like a real nice way to heat the house up. When you're cold, watch that scene, you'll warm up. I swear it's not as bad as later, about when you fancy out with the seconds on the clock that are taking you too far to take a cold shower. But I don't think I need a cold shower after that, do you? I'm okay, right? Hang on, someone's talking, hang on. That's what I was gonna say, man. Come on now. Alright, let's go
Thanks
down.
for your help closing that gate. Don't worry. We can handle anything else they throw at us.
You talk so
You
eloquently.
too. You did it, Captain. You closed the Oblivion Gate. We didn't think we'd ever see you alive
We
again.
closed the frickin' Oblivion Gate and expect you to say that's the reason suddenly things are... Whoa. Alright, just for that last unexplained hijinks behind camera one, I'm willing to bet that this movie has, well, 14 minutes more? But that's only if we record all that and get it further on. So for those of you checking the clock, don't even worry about it. We got a ways to go, man. There's still things to be done on Oblivion.
Good work. Captain Bird and his guardsmen should be able to handle any additional gates, at least for now.
At least for
But the Bloomer
now.
Guard cannot defend the city indefinitely. The Daedra of Oblivion are innumerable. The guardsmen of Bruma are not. We need to gather what allies we can before Bruma is hopelessly besieged. If the Mythic Dawn manages to open a great gate here, the city will need a stronger garrison for there to be any hope of defending it. You
Now we've got a horse. My kingdom for a horse. This is a really exciting adventure, Dungeon Masters. Because now we're riding right outside the dungeon to find the next dungeon we can dungeon master. And now we've got a horse bearing all of our weight across the hills. And I'm a cat person, I must admit, but now I'm not. Oh, sorry, I didn't quite catch the context of the last window. So that's how it's done, huh? You just film it from a little bit away. I mean, mirror lamp it. Really, I'm recording everything onto my lamp, so I can and my coffee pot, so that I can rewind the tape and see everywhere I've been. But if you don't like the idea of knowing everywhere I've been, then I won't tell you anyway, because I'm sworn to secrecy by some people in particular that won't cast me asunder unless I secretly mention them, but I won't ever mention them to anyone except themselves, and how they're better off having gone on this adventure with Dungeon Master. We've all seen it to be a great way to watch video games again, but if you make your own commentary, you can have your own show. And in 6 episodes, Dungeon Master won't be on anymore, but it'll still be on, because everyone will still be watching it. And when everyone will still be watching it, no one will miss any of the new shows that may not have anything to do with DungeonMaster.com. Just hardly anything. But they kind of do, because they're kind of the same bumpy filmmaking style that you're used to from Dungeon Master, which really, in his case, he's going through such scary dungeons that he jumps from fear. I don't know if I agree with that Dungeon Master hangout. What, we lost? Oh, I was going to say we lost the... What is it? The white noise? Sleepy dreams? White dreams? Magic flute? Magic flute? There's a magic flute in Delta, man, and Zelda. There's a magic flute in Zelda, and they have to frickin' play it. Nothing is really gonna happen before they say it. That is why the common ground has made me all betray it. That is why that you and I will have another day at coming back from nothingness and feeling all absurd, wishing we had really stopped and known what it were. That was what it risked before that clown that was hanging in your Albatross, trying to dial the sand. I knew by the time we came to final Dungeon Masters, the 6 final Dungeon Masters, and there were only 5 to begin with, that was so long in between that we will not be in between. We will keep you informed. That's what I said in some other recording of a 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 recording. No, that's it. This time. That's how many times this has been re-recorded. I don't know, man. After a while, you think it's part of the same show, but is it or isn't it? Well, you can count it if you still have copies out there. Playland, if you have any of the other versions of Dungeon Master, keep them, man. They're not illegal. Hell, the internet just felt it was time to let whoever knew me disintegrate. Me and my friends were disintegrated into nothingness for a while and had to recover the Dungeon Master tapes. And that is where the Dungeon Master tapes came from. And if that's a ghost, I could stare at him all day. I knew he'd find a cool part of this game. Well, it's all cool. It was all more than cool, thank you very much. Nothing went wrong. And everything was to, asbestos-littered parade of nonsense of these things of which have come to pass. Take time, smoking lots of grass, and you'll see that it's sassafras when you think everyone is being an ass about the things you joke about the past, and that is why you get so unmasked when you think it's time to relatch. You can find the candle batch. That is why the ultimate grail sinks your heart, makes you fail. I thought that was kind of, mediocre poetry, but I guess I have to count it in all of your poetry writing Dungeon Master. Just wait, I am Dungeon Master. Oh, it's going to make me wonder how we case out on this game. But I guess we've seen through bootleg much of the Dungeon Master style and form. So we lead you through a few more tunnels of time and space continuum, of things that lie ahead and things have left behind. Take us to the divine nature of the grind. Take it and leave it if you could curtail that which was amazing in the whale. You were saying how the thing was fine, and I was just telling you to hit rewind, baby. Hit rewind. We're not hitting rewind on that command. This was too tense a moment to see if we'll ever make it through these shadowy caves of unpredictability. And yet he's predicting all the moves, that's really weird. Well, I won't tell you what that means for this film, but something in me asks myself and everybody else around me, can you hang on for the next 5 minutes? I mean, we can talk, we can sing, we can dance, but I mean, the next 5 minutes, I mean, for where we were going to go into 2 hours, we're realizing we're lucky to get an hour, man. Okay? We're lucky, man. So Dungeon Master tries his luck and goes down positively. This time he's not just swinging, he's already a swinger, which we've already made clear about his tips on romantic views towards women. Hang on. I am Dungeon Master. just telling you that there's about a 1.5 minute limit to what we're allowed to go without my narration tonight. On following the YouTube rules, I will can the dialogue as much as I can and unplanned it. But these guys gotta transcend and meditate too, so it can go back and forth between my ragging on about it all, or it can go right into the music, all the music mixed with the imagery, and so profundity strikes. And I don't know if it came out of one game or went to the other, but this is pretty far into the game. Oh my gosh, this thing, this mirror lamp, it really judged me on that last one because it wondered when the next time I'd be able to not be speechless as to look at this game and the play on the music. It was like liberty divine. It was like the things in my taxes I get back for me, and I don't really, but someone must. Even Dungeon Master does admit that he gives his money to a nearby relative, and they give it back to him. Only then Dungeon Master has treasure of bankability in America, where Dungeon Master imported from Amsterdam and imported from New York and unburied Gygax when he was buried alive in Death Valley. And he was from Switzerland anyway. And they all got a barrel of laughs when the games almost went above the sacred number of 112, which is coming faster than we all think, and that's why I talk about it all the time.
I must fulfill my oath to the Emperor.
What if it's going to be a ghost talking to us? Why don't we just let that happen? Is it not right to galvanize the ghost when you're in position to see why these categories of inventory exist? We've got a lot of inventory in here. And you could have even gone to the races with this. You could have gone to the races and never been so defensive in your master codes. But oh well, here we go. It's the best game ever, right? Everybody says that about the favorite game. This is the favorite game, okay? This is Dungeon Master Central. This is Dungeon Master. This is everything Dungeon Master stands for. Except for the bootleg's kind of shaky. And if the bootleg's shaky, how can it all be for Dungeon Master? Because the bootleg considers it all. It could go down in there and see it on the wall. It could go across and see it in the memes. It could go around and see it on the side. So if you film over here from over there, it's one thing, but that was a really quick interpretation of what it's like to look side to side in a camera at the picture before you. And I apologize for not sticking from the beginning and somehow putting this not into sequences of a movie. But that we've definitely made some kind of a movie here is true. And what do you think, Dungeon Master? You get closing words, Dungeon Master. Closing words? Don't go anywhere, but I want to stay a while. Just because, if I did explain to you that I could use extra footage, would you just admit that that's one of my secrets and I need not tell you why there must be extra footage? Oh, you know what? You're right. I have to cut out. This has been too daring and hard of a dungeon master. I know we could have all gone on to 2-hour Honolulu. That was what we were really... Well, that we shot for it, made it halfway through, is much more redeeming. And the much more redeeming unto itself is the redeeming unto itself. Goodbye, Dungeon Master. We'll see you on 107.